All right, as you can tell, Peterbilts, we're not at my shop. This is actually a shop I grew up in. This is my dad's shop. I've got to do an AC compressor on, we're not doing it on LS today, we're doing it on a Peterbilt. So one of my company trucks, I got it here behind me, a little 212, or I'm sorry, 220, a Peterbilt 220, 2024, Cummins engine and Allison transmission. Air compressor's bad on it. Actually, the clutch went bad, not the compressor, but you know how it is these days. You replace the whole compressor for what a clutch costs and time and have to set it up and all that. So either way, that's what we'll do. I'm gonna jump over here. You can go through it with me, show you what we gotta do. We do have a little issue with parts. Let me show you what we got going on. All right, let me show you what we got here. We got a Pecar AC compressor. Like I said, it's just it's a clutch issue, but we're going to replace the entire compressor. However, I ordered right off these numbers right here. I ordered, and the back plate, this part back here where the lines go in, is not correct. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I did not order this compressor from Peterbilt for obvious reasons. I mean, come on, the price on it's just astronomical. I think it was $800 and something for one from Peterbilt. I was able to give it to Ropals, which is Ropals in our area is I think they're nationwide, but they're a air conditioner supplier. That's what they do. So sent this parts number information to them. They said, yeah, we got a part, we'll have it to you in 2 days. So here we are. However, let's look at this part. So here's our compressor. I matched them up, and it is the correct compressor. The way it mounts, the clutch, belt, all this, everything's right, except for this. My connectors don't connect that way. If you remember, they roll back and buckled in here. See here, they come in, they bolt in, like more of a factory automotive style setup. And these are a threaded style. So there might be an adapter, but I'm gonna take the back plate off. Now I don't want to take this off to see if it's just an O-ring and we can pull this back cover off and be fine. That'd be great. If not, we're not gonna be able to do it. But I'm gonna pull the original compressor, because obviously it's getting replaced anyway, and pull the back plate off it first, see what we got before we pull anything off this. Because if I can't do what I think I can do, then we want to be able to return this guy. All right, first thing we got to do is we got to get the old HVAC 134A out of this system. We don't want to break those lines loose. We don't want that stuff in the atmosphere, nor do we want to lose it. It's expensive. So this may not be a project you do at home. If you've already lost your AC, you already lost your gas, because you've had a leak or something, then by all means you could do this and then take it to a shop and have it recharged, evac and recharged. So you got to pull a vacuum on it, and then recharge the system. So on these cab overs, you're going to be out under the hood. They make it pretty nice. Cab over is kind of a pain to get to anything on the engine. So a lot of manufacturers, including this Peterbilt, everything you need to check is right under the front hood. You just pop it up, check everything out, you're ready to rock. We're going to get this evac. I'm not going to walk through it with you, but we're going to get this gas sucked out so we can start taking this compressor off. It takes about 15 minutes usually to evac and recharge it. These machines are expensive, so you're probably gonna have to go to the shop to have this done. I'm gonna pull it, and as it's pulling, I'm gonna go ahead and start taking a belt off and different things like that. So I'm not just standing around waiting on this vacuum to pull all the refrigerant out. So I got my belt off. All I got to do now is unbolt this compressor, bolt some of the lines that hold those AC lines in place. We'll get some of them loose. I was going to show you, a lot of times when I'm working on this stuff, my toolkits that I carry in my truck are like this. You know, Milwaukee obviously makes some nice ones. There's some nice ones. These are some cheap Walmart ones, but I tell you what, this one actually fell out off I left it on my tailgate, and it fell off going down the road. It did open. I had to pick my tools up. No, actually it didn't open. It stayed closed. I was surprised, but it did crack. That's what it was, but it didn't. It's still functional. You know, they're cheap, whatever. I put them in my toolbox. If I need to jump out, I can just grab a whole box. Like, got sockets and stuff like that in here, wrenches and stuff and pliers in there, and then I've got another one with electrical in it. So, but anyway, it's nice on a cab over situation like this where you can get in there and bring your whole toolbox in with you, set it around, keeps organized, keeps you from having to run back and forth to your main toolbox at your home. So anyway, let's get this pulled out, knocked out, and see what we can do about that, changing those fitting ends there. So I went ahead and took off the back of the old compressor that's getting replaced. So all it was these bolts around after the two lines go in here, and then once I pulled that off, I can see that how it's made and how this pump is made. You can see it's got a roll pin here, so this pump can only go on one way. You can't clock it wrong. Either way, I'm going to leave it sit there, and then I'm going to take this new pump, I'm going to pull this one off much the same. See if that's going to work for me. What it should have is this line should come into the center, this could into the outside, and if that's the case, I can just swap these housings as long as they fit correctly. It will mic them, everything. The body should be the same. The compressor is the same type. Everything is exactly the same on compressor other than the hookups. So you may say, why didn't you just send it back? Like I said, it took 2 days to get this. I'm trying to work it on the weekend and have this thing ready to go on route Monday morning. So I was just looking at other options there, and this may be our option that would get us there. Okay, we got it apart and we are in luck. These are made exactly the same, as you can see. This one's obviously had some dye ran through it, but these are the same, and so we're going to be able to utilize that, like I said, and we're going to get this go ahead and get this other housing put on. We cleaned it, and so we can use the lines and everything that we've got on ours. We just had to change that back plate. Easy peasy. Okay, there it is. We got the compressor, the connector swapped out on the back, so it fits our factory connections. Got the compressor in, got the belt on. We're all ready. We're going to charge this bad boy up. We had to change the pigtail off the one because it had the old generic wire, one wire. That's all we had to do. It was cut, splice that. We used the factory, crimped the factory connection on that one wire so we could hook right in the factory Peterbilt harness. Now we're ready to go. Let's charge this thing up and see what we got. All right, anytime we got the new compressor in, we're gonna have to do a vacuum, at least a 10-minute vacuum. Usually that's good. So we're gonna start to continue the leak test. Yeah, we can do that, but I'm gonna bypass it to save some time. All right, our vacuum is complete. And we're going to charge air. We will inject oil. We could do that now. Press and hold, because we didn't put oil in the compressor. Normally when you replace the compressor, you put PAG oil in. and crank the compressor and get it, you know, so many ounces in there. But we're just going to inject it right here. Press and hold the inject oil button. We're going to watch the oil bottle. Then we're going to do 2 pounds and 1 ounce. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit more because you're going to lose some of your lines, so I'm going to charge just a little bit more. There you have it. AC compressor's on. Moving that back over, changing the fittings on the back. That worked. Sometimes in these heavy duty applications, they go several different years and models, a lot further than a car will. So you'll have that. You may have to do a little work to the parts and switch some stuff out. So if you find yourself in this situation, need that compressor, came with the wrong fitting, change that back plate. Hey guys, works, nice and cold. We're ready for that 90-degree temperature here in East Tennessee. So we're gonna get to work with this thing on Monday. While we're in there, we looked around. I found a couple other issues that we're gonna have to work on later down the road. Always good, anytime you open the hood of your personal car, your customers' cars, anything you got, look around, keep your eyes open. I found a hose that's swelled out. We're gonna have to replace that. If I could do it today, I would. It looks like it could pop at any moment. Also, there's been an ABS problem. We've looked at a sensor, maybe mud in that sensor, cleaned it, not had any luck with that. I seen way on up the line where it has rubbed. So probably gonna be my ABS fix. We'll get that fixed. Anyway, this thing's ready to work. We'll get all that other stuff we found finished up on Monday, scheduled in, and good to go. Anyway, we got good cold AC. Let's clean this shop up, put these tools back the way we found them. Let's get to work. See y'all.